Live from WTKR News 3, your news at 11 starts right now.
A 50-year precedent overturned. Now at 11, how the Supreme Court's decision on Roe v. Wade could impact other laws and how local lawmakers plan to move forward following the decision. An escaped inmate back in custody, where they found him, and what residents are saying about his escape. Good evening and welcome to News 3 at 11. I'm Angela Bohan. Temperatures were a little warmer today, high in the low 80s along the coast and upper 80s inland with a ton of sunshine. Great day to be at the beach or even take a plane ride. Take a look at the picture right there. It looks like we're going to stay on this warming trend. Meteorologist Christy Stewart joining us now to see how tomorrow's looking.
And tomorrow looks like it's still going to be a great day to be outdoors, head out to the beach. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer, but we are going to be able to stay nice and dry. Eventually, we will be seeing some more rain. That's as we get into the work week. It is a nice night out there for us right now, mostly clear. We've got a temperature 70 degrees for the peninsula, 69 for Southside, and 67 for North Carolina. As we head throughout tonight, we will be seeing our temperatures dropping down into the low to the mid 60s, and then tomorrow afternoon, we'll see those temperatures climbing into the mid to the upper 80s. So it is going to be a little bit warmer as we are still on this warming trend. We'll continue to be warmer for the next couple of days. Then we'll take a dip in temperatures and they'll climb again. So we've got the 70s, 80s, and 90s in our 7-day forecast, as well as some more rain chances. When to expect the rain and those temperature swings, I'll let you know coming up in my full forecast.
Protests and celebration continues today following the Supreme Court's historic decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Now many are wondering if this decision could pave the way for more opinions to be overturned in the future. Jen Sullivan breaks down the fallout from the public and how this decision could impact other rulings.
Defend abortion rights!
Hell no, we don't need Roe!
Protests and celebrations erupting in cities across the country after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
We won't back down! We won't go back!
A nearly 50-year precedent making abortion a constitutionally protected right, now struck down in a 5-4 majority opinion. President Joe Biden expressing his distress once again on Saturday.
We're going to take actions to protect women's rights and reproductive health.
His administration now saying they'll be watchful for any state that violates federal law by blocking women from crossing state lines to get an abortion. 13 states have trigger laws in place, which allows them to quickly ban the procedure.
Each state is going to sort these things out. In Texas, we're going to protect innocent human life in the womb.
Many women in those 13 states now questioning what comes next.
I get pregnant in a situation that is unsustainable and I can't keep the baby, but I also have no recourse to get an abortion. That's my biggest fear.
The Supreme Court's decision also brings into question how this could impact other rulings, like access to contraceptives, gay marriage, and in vitro fertilization, after Justice Clarence Thomas wrote separately other rulings should be revisited. Jen Sullivan, News 3.
And today, during a Pride event in Norfolk, Representative Elaine Luria and Bobby Scott weighed in on the Supreme Court's decision.
It's just the beginning. Just read the decision and you can see that Obergefell is on the line. The right to gay marriage, the right to love the person you love is on the line, and if we stop fighting, those things could go away.
We have seen the Supreme Court take away rights that have been there for 50 years. And so if we don't remain vigilant, these rights that we've fought for so hard for can be taken away. So we look forward to continuing the fight.
Now that the decision has been made by the highest court, a big question is what happens next here in Virginia and North Carolina. Right now, abortion is legal in Virginia through the second trimester and legal in the third trimester if a mother's health is in jeopardy. But Governor Glenn Youngkin wants to change the law, saying there should be restrictions once a fetus begins to feel pain in the womb. The exact timeline of that is debated, but Youngkin says he would like to see a 15-week threshold and is working with the General Assembly to make it happen. State lawmakers are divided on the subject, with some promising to strike down any anti-abortion rights bill that comes their way. Others would like to see it go even further.
Here in Virginia, abortion is legal. We already have become a safe haven in the South. We will fight tooth and nail to stay that way.
Well, I was encouraged and ecstatic. This is a decision that those of us who are pro-life legislators have been waiting for a very long time.
In North Carolina, Republican lawmakers have asked Democratic Attorney General Josh Stein to restore a state law banning nearly all abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. North Carolina's 20-week law was struck down in a 2019 court ruling, and the current North Carolina law extends rights to an abortion until what is called fetal viability, which is generally between 24 and 28 weeks. The North Carolina Justice Department has not yet commented on the request to change the law. This decision was just made yesterday, and this is a story that will keep developing in the weeks and months to come, both nationwide and right here at home. And News 3 wants to keep you informed through it all. You'll be able to find out all the latest information on WTKR.com and the News 3 app. The app in particular will send breaking alerts and up-to-the-minute details right to your phone. It's free to download at WTKR.com/apps. An inmate who escaped from Portsmouth City Jail is now back in custody. Police say the suspect was caught just after noon today. Our News 3 reporter Kelsey Jones has the details as well as reaction to all of this.
Sheriff deputies found 36-year-old Devon James right here in this Walmart parking lot on Frederick Boulevard. I spoke with residents and they tell me they feel at ease now, but they have many unanswered questions about the escape.
It does worry me because in Portsmouth, you already have enough danger going on. To know that there's more now going on, people are just escaping places where they should be held captive. It does, raise some worries.
Residents like Colin Timbles are disturbed after learning that an inmate was able to escape the city jail. Although he is now back in custody, he escaped Thursday night while being escorted to an area of the jail where he could make a phone call, causing Timbles to question security of the jail.
People who are arrested and put in jail most of the time for reasons. So they need to start doing a good job and make sure that doesn't happen and we don't have to worry about things like that here.
Court records say Jones was being held on various charges, including strangulation and abduction. I went to the Walmart where Jones was captured, and an employee says he's thankful they didn't cross paths.
They got me a little bit on high alert because I walk here from home, so I didn't know if I was going to run into him or not.
Jones was found an hour before Peterson came into work.
Very happy that he is back in custody, because who's to say he wouldn't have came into the store and caused a commotion.
The investigation of this escape is ongoing, and we will continue to keep you updated as we learn more details. For now, in Portsmouth, I'm Kelsey Jones, News 3.
New gun control legislation is on the way to President Biden's desk to be signed into law. Democrats and a handful of Republicans in the House Senate passed the new gun control bill. This is the first major gun control legislation in nearly 30 years being sent to the White House to be signed into law. Here's what the legislation would do. It will enhance gun background checks for people under 21. It sets aside $750 million to give to states that implement red flag laws designed to temporarily seize guns from people considered dangerous. And it closes the so-called boyfriend loophole. It prevents someone who's been convicted of domestic abuse but does not live in the home with the victim from buying a gun. Nearly every Republican in the House opposed the bill, saying it tramples on Americans' rights. Many Republicans who voted in favor of it will not be facing voters in 2024. Cleaning it up and locking it up, all in an effort to fight gun violence. Several organizations came out to a neighborhood along Effingham Street in Portsmouth this morning. With them, bright-colored vests and garbage bags for picking up litter. The cleanup was organized by Stop the Violence 757 in partnership with the city of Portsmouth. This on the heels of weeks of citywide violence. Other groups there, Cusp and 2 Seconds, gave out gun locks. The event came the day the president signed gun safety legislation into law. But people at this event today say work also has to happen at a local level.
We realize the best way for us to see the impact is for us to just partner together and come out to the community and bring those resources.
You look good, you feel good, and inspire you to do good. So if they see people like this helping out a lot, other people start catching on, they're going to come out, and it's just going to spread. That's what we want.
Organizers tell us cleanup events already happen around the city, and they are expected to continue. And today, a gun buyback, no questions asked. It was hosted by the Hampton Roads Black Caucus and Portsmouth Police Athletic League, or PAL. It was held at 1 Corinthians Baptist Church. Residents turned in their guns, registered or not, and received either cash or a gift card in exchange. And one local pastor says this is just one in a series of events to help the city.
You know, the first event we did was a community conversation where we had everybody come and sat down. The second event we did was we dealt with the gangs and people who dealt with gang violence, and this was the next phase right here. And then we're going to do another one after that, because we got to keep going. We need our community to get better some way, shape, form, or fashion.
The event also offered voter registration, and at the same time there was a community block party where officials helped with rights restoration for convicted felons. COVID-19 vaccinations for children under 5 have just started in Hampton Roads, but some parents are reporting that it's been challenging to find them. Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters reports it is now offering COVID vaccination for ages 6 months and up at several of its locations, and that includes Norfolk Pediatrics near the airport. Your child does not have to be a current CHKD patient to get this, but you do need an appointment. We have all the details on how to find that at WTKR.com, and doctors tell us public health departments are working on scheduling more clinics. Pride Month is almost over, but not before one event returns to Norfolk. Coming up, we'll take you inside today's Pride Fest.
And we are going to be seeing our temperatures continuing to climb before they take a big dip. So how high those temperatures get, I'll let you know coming up.
Norfolk's Town Point Park hosted tens of thousands of people in a celebration of inclusion and equality today. Pride Fest returned for the first time in 3 years. News 3 anchor Anthony Sabella spoke to the people behind the festival, who say it's all about giving our area's LGBTQ population the chance to celebrate who they are safely.
In the past, Hampton Roads Pride has seen upwards of 40,000 people out here at Pride Fest. This is the first Pride Fest in about 3 years, so certainly an exciting moment for those who decided to come out today. But for some, underneath it all, there is some concern about what the future might hold. A boat parade like none other in the country. Pride Fest began with a bang at noon Saturday.
The American Rover, everyone.
The one-day festival, a chance for the area's LGBTQ+ community to join with allies and just celebrate who they are. It comes one day before the 7th anniversary of the Supreme Court ruling that legalized gay marriage. But it's what happened the day before this year that's on Rudy Almandor's mind. The striking down of Roe v. Wade, ending federal abortion rights. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas indicating he would want to do the same with LGBT rights, including marriage.
Even more reason for us to be united.
That unity on display Saturday with each other and local and state law enforcement. Formerly with the Norfolk Sheriff's Office, Fawn Falks of Hampton Roads Pride works with LGBT liaisons within different area departments. She and Almandor say the close relationship with local police helps keep events like this safe and secure.
Just pitch in and help out wherever they can on a friendly note, not on a quote-unquote always law enforcement note. You know, they only enforce law when it's needed to. But when it comes to the safety of the community, they are totally on board, 150%.
Ensuring Pride Fest's return after 3 years can be a joyful one for everyone.
It's not effortless, but we do it because we want to make sure that the community gets what they deserve and has an environment that is safe, inclusive, accepting.
And the party certainly doesn't stop here today. In fact, it picks up 18 miles to the east tomorrow at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront. Pride at the Beach starts at 2 p.m. Sunday at the 24th Street Park. Here at Town Point Park in Norfolk, I'm Anthony Sabella, News 3.
Instagram is testing new options to verify the age of its users. The goal is to make sure that people under the age of 17 on the platform have a more age-appropriate experience. First, users can upload a video selfie, and technology will actually help estimate their age based on their facial features. I find that interesting. Another option for teens between the age of 13 and 17 is to select 3 mutual followers to confirm their age. Those mutual followers must be at least 18 years old themselves. Instagram's goal is to protect them from unwanted contact from adults that they don't know, as well as inappropriate online ads. A beautiful night out, but what can we expect for the rest of the weekend? Let's check in now with meteorologist Christy Stewart.
Well, we are going to be able to have another night nice day out there tomorrow, nice in terms of dry and everything, but we are going to be seeing our temperatures continuing to climb. We are still on a warming trend as we head throughout the next couple of days. So today was a great day to be outside, especially along the coast to the beach. I know a number of people went out to the beach. We saw those high temperatures in the lower 80s. Now we reached into the upper 80s for our inland communities, and that's actually where we should be for this time of year. That is our normal high temperature, 88 degrees. We are going to be all seeing those temperatures right around the 88-degree mark as we get into tomorrow. Now, temperatures currently are sitting in those upper 60s to lower 70s. That is overall a couple of degrees warmer than we were this time last night. Just signs that we are still in that slight warming trend. So again, we'll be in the upper 80s for Sunday into Monday. Then a cold front moves through that cools us down into the mid to the upper 70s for Tuesday. But that cool down only really lasts for Tuesday. Then we are going to be seeing those temperatures back on the rise. Eventually, as we get into Friday and this time next weekend, we're looking at high temperatures in those low 90s again. So right now we are nice and dry on our radar. We are seeing still a mostly clear sky out there. We'll be staying mostly clear for the rest of the night tonight and into tomorrow morning. Later in the day on Sunday, the high pressure system that's been bringing us this beautiful weather, it's going to be leaving us as we get into later Sunday, and then a cold front is going to be approaching us. So in between those two systems, we are going to be seeing some cloud cover beginning to increase in the later parts of the day on Sunday. We're also going to be getting a bit breezier, south-southeast winds about 13 miles per hour. But we should be able to stay nice and dry throughout the entire day on Sunday. Monday, we start off the day dry, still seeing those clouds increasing, but as that cold front gets closer, as we get into the afternoon and evening, that's when we're going to be seeing some scattered showers and storms popping up. So as we get into about 2 p.m. is what it's looking like right now for Monday. That's when we'll start to see these scattered showers and storms developing. For that evening commute home, or if you've got dinner plans on Monday, yeah, it looks like you might be having some heavy downpours to deal with, some thunderstorm activity as well. A lot of that clears out in the nighttime hours, but still as we get into Tuesday morning, some lingering activity, especially along our North Carolina communities and especially around the Albemarle Sound and Outer Banks. So we'll keep an eye on that as we do see those storms getting a little bit closer to us. Now, as we get into the tropics, we do still have in the tropical Atlantic, in the middle of that, we do have a 60% chance of this wave forming into something. So way too early to tell if we could possibly be seeing any impacts locally, but just something to keep an eye on. Could possibly become Bonnie if it does form into something. Now, tomorrow for us locally, it's going to be a great beach day, high temperatures in those upper 80s, but we do have a moderate rip current risk that you'll have to watch out for if you are planning to head into the water. Again, those storms will be headed our way later in the day on Monday. Some lingering showers out there Tuesday, and those temperatures take a dip down. A couple of showers mainly in North Carolina, it looks like Wednesday, but overall the second half of the work week looks to be drier but getting warmer into those low 90s. This time next weekend, maybe a couple of isolated showers or storms out there.
Thank you. I'm loving this warmer weather, but you know, this means that a lot of people have to get out there and mow the grass probably once a week, right?
Yes, and if you haven't mowed your grass yet, get out there and do that tomorrow as well, probably in the morning before the heat, before we get that rain on Monday.
Well, this warmer weather, as people are out there mowing the grass, some people are actually trading in their typical grass for artificial turf, growing in popularity for homeowners, especially in the West, where states are experiencing a mega drought. There, some cities have put restrictions on water, which will likely cause, of course, many yards to turn brown. But experts say it saves time and money on water and maintenance costs.
We like real grass, but you realize how much water it takes to keep your grass green. And all of that water and the runoff and everything else is just not necessary.
We spend all this money and time watering grass that we cut, and then we water again and we cut it.
Now, experts claim it doesn't get hot in the sun and it keeps your yard green all year long. The price tag isn't cheap, though. It can cost thousands of dollars to install. Stay with us. We'll be right back. A former NFL standout from Norfolk returns to his alma mater to give back to his community. News 3 sports director Mark Davis shows us how this gridiron great is helping future stars on and off the field.
From Booker T. Washington to the NFL, Don Carey finding success on the gridiron. And now he's using football to help students find success off the field.
There we go. Good job.
Don Carey growing up on this field,
putting plenty of points on the board for Booker T. Washington.
I'm from Norfolk. I walked these halls, in the early 2000s. I know the situation that a lot of the students are in who grew up around here.
Go! From the Bookers to Norfolk State to a 10-year NFL career as a defensive back. Now, he's a member of Chesapeake City Council, and Carrie and his wife Lakeisha operate their Reach Foundation, reaching, educating, and empowering children. This weekend, they're using football as the hook to broaden horizons.
It's a great unifier, so regardless of your demographic, your background, football is able to bring people together. And while we have their attention, we want to expose them to other possibilities outside of football.
What kind of possibilities? The last 2 days seeing the foundation host its annual STEAM camp, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, presenting students with endless potential careers. Working with local businesses and vendors, Reach providing a doorway for the next generation.
Ranging from airport, NASA, to botanical gardens with animals and plants, so all over the STEAM field.
From the classroom to the gridiron, Norfolk Public School students ages 6 to 17 learning a wide array of skills. And even though football may have drawn them in,
the cool thing, kids normally come for the football aspect. Yesterday, this is the second day of our 2-day camp. Yesterday, we had a hard time getting the kids away from the STEM to go play football.
A man who was once in their shoes, using his platform to open doors and help today's kids reach for the stars.
To be able to impact them the way STEAM and football has impacted me in my life means so much, and hopefully I can help be that catalyst to again, expand their horizons to new opportunities.
This 2-day event wrapping up today, the Reach Foundation will hold another STEAM camp in October. In Norfolk, I'm Mark Davis, News 3.
And while today's camp was for Norfolk Public School students, October's edition will be open to kids throughout Hampton Roads. And we'll be right back with a final check of our weather. Stay with us. I'm Angela Bohan. Topping our headlines, an inmate who escaped from Portsmouth City Jail is now back in custody. 36-year-old Devon Jones escaped Thursday night, prompting an immediate search. Officials say Jones was caught just after noon today in a Walmart parking lot. Following the Supreme Court's historic decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, many are wondering if this decision could pave the way for more opinions to be overturned in the future. The ruling does not impact Virginia's current laws, but further action could be coming. In North Carolina, abortion is legal through viability, but the debate over further restrictions is also expected to pick back up again there. And today, the Hampton Roads Black Caucus and Portsmouth Powell Police Department hosted a gun buyback, no questions asked. It was held at the 1 Corinthians Baptist Church. Residents turned in their guns, registered or not, and received either cash or a gift card in exchange. And it's just one in a series of events to help the city. Now let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Christy Stewart.
Well,